Obama, Obama deported more than Donald Trump when Obama was the president. But before we get started with this demonstration, let me read my copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. What that means is that everything that you hear in this demonstration is for entertainment and educational purposes. Everything that you hear in this video that I call a demonstration is only allegedly. Now, you all know I deal with the good, the bad, and the ugly. All right? Now, when it comes to Trump, Trump is the newly elected president, right? And now there's a big fuss by many. There's a big fuss about his immigration laws. There's a big fuss about him deporting migrants, illegal immigrants, right? But did y'all know that when Obama was in office, Obama deported way more immigrants than Trump is even talking about deporting. But let's do the numbers and let's get into this clip. And we're going to find out, did Obama deport more than Trump is talking about deporting? And what's the big deal when it comes to deportation? All right, let's go.
President-elect Donald said in his post-election 60 Minutes interview.
And I want to send a big shout out to David Pacman. Let's give a big shout out to the David Pacman show for using his material. All right, let's go.
That his plan is to deport 2 to 3 million undocumented immigrants when he is sworn into office. And this has been a big reason why Donald Trump appealed to a pretty significant portion of his base, right? His immigration-related rhetoric, his promises of deportation forces, his discussions about a wall with Mexico. This has all been a big reason of why many of his supporters voted for him. And what's fascinating is that President Obama has deported way more undocumented immigrants than the number that Donald Trump promises to deport. So
now let's just stop right there. Let's stop right there. So now if when Obama was president, if he deported more than, first of all, even if he doesn't deport more than Trump is talking about deporting, why wasn't there a big outcry when President Obama was deporting the immigrants, the undocumented immigrants, right? What's the difference now? What's the difference?
Think about that, and think about, if you follow the narratives in media, many Trump voters like Trump because as they see it, unlike Obama, he's going to get going on deportations, which they're angry that President Obama hasn't done. So I want to make sure you're armed with the facts here. According to a Pew Research data analysis released in August, the Obama administration deported 2.4 million undocumented immigrants between...
Let's backtrack. Salute Cotan. Salute Cotan. And make sure everybody keep up with the numbers. All right, let's backtrack.
Obama administration deported 2.4 million undocumented immigrants between...
So Obama's administration deported 2.4 illegal immigrants, or let me give it a political name, undocumented immigrants, but 2.4 million.
In 2009, when President Obama took office, and 2014. That's an unprecedented number. That's a record number of deportations. Now, that only gets us through 2014. If you add just sort of like an average number for 2015 and 2016, which is mostly over at this point, to that 2.4 million deportation number, President Obama has deported roughly 3.2 million undocumented immigrants.
3.2 million undocumented immigrants. 3.2 million immigrants have been deported at the hands of Obama.
And that is more, again, that is more than the number that President-elect Donald promises to deport. Now, I want to add to that. Not only has President Obama deported more undocumented immigrants than the number that President-elect Donald says he will deport, he didn't do it with a wall that would be outrageously expensive. We actually have a net outflow of immigrants to Mexico. More people are moving back to Mexico than coming to Mexico, to the United States from Mexico, rather. And this is not about pro-Trump or anti-Obama. This is about, as an interesting Inquisitor article that I recently read says, everybody needs to look at themselves. If you voted for Trump because you wanted more people deported than what President Obama has done, well, you're not going to get that number of deportations because Donald Trump's promise of the number of people he will deport is a smaller number than the number of people that President Obama has already deported. If you are protesting the election of Trump as a progressive because of his immigration plans, where were you while President Obama, rather, deported way more people than Trump promises to?
Stop right there. Where were you at? See, this is, for me, this is why it's so important. This is why it's so important to ride things neutral. Because when you ride things neutral, when you got an unbiased perspective on things, you're able to see things for what it is. And when somebody is trying to run a play on you, if if you like this person, it's going to be hard for you to see. That's like for the Trump supporters. All right. If Trump is running a play, and if you are ride or die Trump supporter, a diehard Trump supporter, and he's running a play on you, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to see the play that he's running, vice versa. If you are a ride or die Obama supporter, if Obama ran a play on you, you won't be able to see the play that he's running. We got to keep it real with ourselves. People try to run plays on us every day. And the people that try to run plays on you is people that you put trust in. People that are very, very close to you. So in a million years, you're not thinking that this person is going to be trying to run a play on you. But I want to go to Obama. Because I want us to hear how Obama feel about deportation. See, the narrative has been twisted. And when it comes to the whole deportation, when Obama was behind the push, it was, because, the immigrants are here illegal, they're undocumented, and we got to crack down hard on it. This is when Obama was leading the chariots. Now, Trump is leading the same chariot. What's the difference? Y'all let me know in the chat. I'm going to find Obama. Let's see what Obama got to say about this. And like I said, that's like somebody being in your house. and you didn't give them permission to be in your house, and then you find out that they're in your house, what are you going to do? They got to go. Right? All right, let's see what Obama is saying about deportation. It's like when Mom Dukes talk, it's like, okay, but when Pops talk, it's like, there's Pops starting trouble again. But let's tune into Obama. Now listen to him, y'all. I want y'all to listen to Obama. Now he's talking about enforcing the deportation on felons, but let's listen.
If you have children who are American citizens or legal residents, if you registered, pass a criminal background check, and you're willing to pay your fair share of taxes, you'll be able to apply to stay in this country temporarily without fear of deportation.
Let's stop right there. Salute, Miss Parker. Salute, Miss Parker. Appreciate you for pulling up. Let's backtrack now. You heard him say now. You heard him say it. Now let's listen. Now he's saying the same thing that Trump's been saying. Let's listen to Obama.
If you have children who are American citizens or legal residents, if you registered, pass a criminal background check, and you're willing to pay your fair share of taxes, you'll be able to apply to stay in this country temporarily without fear of deportation. You can come out of the shadows and get right with the law. That's what this deal is. Now let's be clear about what it isn't. This deal does not apply to anyone who has come to this country recently. It does not apply to anyone who might come to America illegally in the future. It does not grant citizenship or the right to stay here permanently or offer the same benefits that citizens receive. Only Congress can do that. All we're saying is we're not going to deport you. I know some of the critics of this action call it amnesty. Well, it's not. Amnesty is the immigration system we have today. Millions of people who live here without paying their taxes or playing by the rules, while politicians use the issue to scare people and whip up votes at election time. That's the real amnesty. Leaving this broken system the way it is.
Stop right there. What did he say? The problem is leaving this broken system where it's at. Now, Obama, I believe Obama was in office before Trump. I believe that Obama was pushing the deportation issues before Trump. So Trump comes in after Obama. Trump wants to fulfill the same issues. You know, Trump wants to force the same issues, the deportation issues that Obama was forcing. So somebody help me understand. I need somebody to make it make sense. Why is it okay for the Democrat president, Barack Obama, to push the deportation issue, but how come it's not okay for the Republican president, Donald Trump? Somebody make it make sense.
Mass amnesty would be unfair. Mass deportation would be both impossible and contrary to our character. What I'm describing is accountability, a common sense middle ground approach. If you meet the criteria, you can come out of the shadows and get right with the law. If you're a criminal, you'll be deported.
Stop right there. Stop right there. If you are a criminal, you will be deported. Aren't those the first ones that Trump is going after? The criminals? Somebody make it make sense. See, y'all got to make it make sense. And we got to stop being biased. Make it make sense. That's all I'm asking.
For more than 200 years, our tradition of welcoming immigrants from around the world has given us a tremendous advantage over other nations. It's kept us youthful, dynamic, and entrepreneurial. It has shaped our character as a people with limitless possibilities. People not trapped by our past, but able to remake ourselves as we choose. But today, our immigration system is broken.
Now, this is when Obama was in office, y'all. I got to keep stressing it. Obama recognized that the immigration system was broken. Obama was before Trump. So why is it a big deal now with Trump saying the same things that Obama had been saying? Somebody make it make sense.
Everybody knows it. Families who enter our country the right way and play by the rules watch others flout the rules. Business owners who offer their workers good wages and benefits see the competition exploit undocumented immigrants by paying them far less.
And this is what I've been saying in my demonstrations. If y'all been following me, if y'all been pulling up on my demonstrations, these are the same things that I've been saying, the same thing that Obama is saying. But I know, y'all will get it when somebody else say it. But when Shank Rock say it, Shank, that ain't true. Obama saying the same thing that I've been saying. But y'all gonna listen to Obama and y'all gonna be like, wow, Obama said that? Right. Same thing I've been saying.
Owners who offer their workers good wages and benefits see the competition exploit undocumented immigrants by paying them far less. All of us take offense to anyone who reaps the rewards of living in America without taking on the responsibilities of living in America.
What did I say? What did I say? I said black Americans, white Americans, and legal immigrants will not take those minimum wage jobs. Ain't that what I said? I said they won't take those minimum wage jobs. I said, but the illegal immigrants, they'll be gladly to take those jobs. And Obama said the same thing that I've been saying. Salute, Snoopy. Salute, Snoopy. Appreciate you for pulling up, Snoopy.
And undocumented immigrants who desperately want to embrace those responsibilities see little option but to remain in the shadows or risk their families being torn apart. It's been this way for decades. And for decades, we haven't done much about it. When I took office, I committed to fixing this broken immigration system. And I began by doing what I could to secure our borders. Today, we have more agents and technology deployed to secure our southern border than at any time in our history. And over the past 6 years, illegal border crossings have been cut by more than half. Although this summer there was a brief spike in unaccompanied children being apprehended at our border, the number of such children is now actually lower than it's been in nearly 2 years. Overall, the number of people trying to cross our border illegally is at its lowest level since the 1970s. Those are the facts. Meanwhile, I worked with Congress on a comprehensive fix. And last year, 68 Democrats, Republicans, and independents came together to pass a bipartisan bill in the Senate. It wasn't perfect. It was a compromise. But it reflected common sense. It would have doubled the number of Border Patrol agents while giving undocumented immigrants a pathway to citizenship if they paid a fine, started paying their taxes, and went to the back of the line. And independent experts said that it would help grow our economy and shrink our deficits.
I'll ask the question again. Salute, Jonathan. Salute, Jonathan. Why is it an issue with Trump, but why wasn't it and why isn't it an issue with Obama? What's the difference, y'all? Somebody make it make sense. Obama pushed the deportation issue. It was no problem. Kids was in cages. Now Trump come along pushing the same issue, deportation. Now it's a big problem. Somebody make it make sense.
Had the House of Representatives allowed that kind of bill, a simple yes or no vote, it would have passed with support from both parties. And today it would be the law. But for a year and a half now, Republican leaders in the House have refused to allow that simple vote. Now, I continue to believe that the best way to solve this problem is by working together to pass that kind of common sense law. But until that happens, there are actions I have the legal authority to take as president, the same kinds of actions taken by Democratic and Republican presidents before me, that will help make our immigration system more fair and more just.
This was one of the reasons, this was one of the things when it came to Obama that I agreed with. Like I said, I didn't agree with everything when it came to Obama. Like I don't agree with everything when it comes to Trump. However, there are things that I do agree with when it comes to Trump, and there are things that I do agree with when it came to Obama. This was one of the things that I agreed with Obama about.
Tonight, I'm announcing those actions. First, we'll build on our progress at the border with additional resources for our law enforcement personnel so that they can stem the flow of illegal crossings and speed the return of those who do cross over. Second, I'll make it easier and faster for high-skilled immigrants, graduates, and entrepreneurs to stay and contribute to our economy, as so many business leaders have proposed. Third, we'll take steps to deal responsibly with the millions of undocumented immigrants who already live in our country. I want to say more about this third issue because it generates the most passion and controversy. Even as we are a nation of immigrants, we're also a nation of laws. Undocumented workers broke our immigration laws, and I believe that they must be held accountable, especially those who may be dangerous. That's why over the past 6 years, deportations of criminals are up 80%. And that's why we're going to keep focusing enforcement resources on actual threats to our security.
Stop right there. We're going to keep, he says we're going to keep focusing on the criminals. Okay then. Trump ain't doing nothing but what was already laid down. So what's the big deal, y'all, when it comes to Trump and the deportation? What's the big deal? He ain't doing nothing that Obama didn't do.
Felons, not families. Criminals, not children. Gang members, not a mom who's working hard to provide for her kids. We'll prioritize, just like law enforcement does every day. But even as we focus on deporting criminals, the fact is millions of immigrants in every state, of every race and nationality, still live here illegally. And let's be honest, tracking down, rounding up, and deporting millions of people isn't realistic.
Come on, y'all. You can't make this up. And when I done that demonstration yesterday, what my man was saying, well, there's no way, it's going to be no way that Trump is going to be able to get all them people, round up all them people. Nobody said that it would be easy. Even Obama said it wouldn't be easy.
Anyone who suggests otherwise isn't being straight with you.
What'd he say? Anyone that suggests otherwise isn't being straight with you.
It's also not who we are as Americans. After all, most of these immigrants have been here a long time. They work hard, often in tough, low-paying jobs. They support their families. They worship at our churches. Many of their kids are American-born or spent most of their lives here. And their hopes, dreams, and patriotism are just like ours. As my predecessor, President Bush, once put it, They are a part of American life. Now, here's the thing. We expect people who live in this country to play by the rules. We expect that those who cut the line will not be unfairly rewarded. So we're going to offer the following deal. If you've been in America for more than 5 years, if you have children who are American citizens or legal residents, if you register, pass a criminal background check, and you're willing to pay your fair share of taxes, you'll be able to apply to stay in this country temporarily without fear of deportation. You can come out of the shadows and get right with the law. That's what this deal is. Now let's be clear about what it isn't. This deal does not apply to anyone who has come to this country recently. It does not apply to anyone who might come to America illegally in the future. It does not grant citizenship or the right to stay here permanently or offer the same benefits that citizens receive. Only Congress can do that. All we're saying is we're not going to deport you. I know some of the critics of this action call it amnesty. Well, it's not. Amnesty is the immigration system we have today. Millions of people who live here without paying their taxes or playing by the rules, while politicians use the issue to scare people and whip up votes at election time.
How do you like that? Millions of people that live in this country and benefit off of this country go without paying taxes. To all of the tax-paying citizens of the United States of America, how do you like that? Millions of people work and don't pay taxes, while millions of other people work and pay taxes. And you got a problem when Trump talks about deportation, but you didn't have a problem with Obama when he talked about deportation?
That's the real amnesty. Leaving this broken system the way it is.
Salute, Trelane.
Mass amnesty would be unfair.
Salute,
Mass
Trelane.
deportation would be both impossible and contrary to our character. What I'm describing is accountability, a common sense middle ground approach. If you meet the criteria, you can come out of the shadows and get right with the law. If you're a criminal, you'll be deported. If you plan to enter the U.S. illegally, your chances of getting caught and sent back just went up. The actions I'm taking are not only lawful, they're the kinds of actions taken by every single Republican president and every single Democratic president for the past half century.
Stop right there. What happened? What happened to the Biden administration? Huh? What happened to the Biden administration when it came to the deportation? Huh? Somebody talk to me.
And to those members of Congress who question my authority to make our immigration system work better, or question the wisdom of me acting where Congress has failed, I have one answer. Pass a bill. I want to work with both parties to pass a more permanent legislative solution. And the day I sign that bill into law, the actions I take will no longer be necessary. Meanwhile, don't let a disagreement over a single issue be a deal breaker on every issue. That's not how our democracy works. And Congress certainly shouldn't shut down our government again just because we disagree on this. Americans are tired of gridlock. What our country needs from us right now is a common purpose, a higher purpose. Most Americans support the types of reforms I've talked about tonight, but I understand the disagreements held by many of you at home.
So I guess Obama went through the same thing that Trump goes through. Most Americans supported Obama's ideas. Most Americans support Trump's ideas. But what happened? What happened, y'all?
Millions of us, myself included, go back generations in this country with ancestors who put in the painstaking work to become citizens. So we don't like the notion that anyone might get a free pass to American citizenship. I know some worry immigration will change the very fabric of who we are or take our jobs. or stick it to middle-class families at a time when they already feel like they've gotten the raw deal for over a decade. I hear those concerns. But that's not what these steps would do. Our history and the facts show that immigrants are a net plus for our economy and our society. And I believe it's important that all of us have this debate without impugning each other's character. Because for all the back and forth of Washington, we have to remember that this debate is about something bigger. It's about who we are as a country and who we want to be for future generations. Are we a nation that tolerates the hypocrisy of a system where workers who pick our fruit and make our beds never have a chance to get right with the law? Or are we a nation that gives them a chance to make amends, take responsibility, and give their kids a better future? Are we a nation that accepts the cruelty of ripping children from their parents' arms? Or are we a nation that values families and works together to keep them together? Are we a nation that educates the world's best and brightest in our universities only to send them home to create businesses in countries that compete against us? Or are we a nation that encourages them to stay and create jobs here, create businesses here, create industries right here in America? That's what this debate is all about. We need more than politics as usual when it comes to immigration. We need reasoned, thoughtful, compassionate debate that focuses on our hopes, not our fears. I know the politics of this issue are tough, but let me tell you why I have come to feel so strongly about it. Over the past years, I've seen the determination of immigrant fathers who worked 2 or 3 jobs without taking a dime from the government, and at risk any moment of losing it all, just to build a better life for their kids. I've seen the heartbreak and anxiety of children whose mothers might be taken away from them just because they didn't have the right papers. I've seen the courage of students who, except for the circumstances of their birth, are as American as Malia or Sasha. Students who bravely come out as undocumented in hopes they could make a difference in the country they love. These people, our neighbors, our classmates, our friends, they did not come here in search of a free ride or an easy life. They came to work and study and serve in our military, and above all, contribute to America's success. Now, tomorrow I'll travel to Las Vegas and meet with some of these students, including a young woman named Astrid Silva. Astrid was brought to America when she was 4 years old. Her only possessions were a cross, her doll, and the frilly dress she had on. When she started school, she didn't speak any English. She caught up to other kids by reading newspapers and watching PBS. And she became a good student. Her father worked in landscaping. Her mom cleaned other people's homes. They wouldn't let Astrid apply to a technology magnet school, not because they didn't love her, but because they were afraid the paperwork would out her as an undocumented immigrant. So she applied behind their back and got in. Still, she mostly lived in the shadows until her grandmother, who visited every year from Mexico, passed away. And she couldn't travel to the funeral without risk of being found out and deported. It was around that time she decided to begin advocating for herself and others like her. And today, Astrid Silva is a college student working on her 3rd degree.
And this is why I say it. This is why I say it, and I'll say it again. For the immigrants, there are some exceptional cases. Some cases, you hear some of the cases in this case, some cases you say, look, we're going to do what we got to do to make sure you become legal. We got to stop the deportation process, whatever it is we got to do to make sure you don't be deported, then that's what we're going to do. Those are those exceptional cases. We never said anything about there wouldn't be any cases that would be exceptional. But these are the cases that are exceptional kind of cases.
Are we a nation that kicks out a striving, hopeful immigrant like Astrid? Or are we a nation that finds a way to welcome her in? Scripture tells us that we shall not oppress a stranger, for we know the heart of a stranger. We were strangers once too. My fellow Americans, we are and always will be a nation of immigrants. We were strangers once too. And whether our forebears were strangers who crossed the Atlantic or the Pacific or the Rio Grande, we are here only because this country welcomed them in.
That's not true. That's not true. For us melanated, for us ancestors of the former slaves, this country did not welcome us in. This country forced us in to do free labor. So I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
And taught them that to be an American is about something more than what we look like, or what our last names are, or how we worship. What makes us Americans is our shared commitment to an ideal, that all of us are created equal, and all of us have the chance to make of our lives what we will. That's the country our parents and grandparents and generations before them built for us. That's the tradition we must uphold. That's the legacy we must leave for those who are yet to come. Thank you. God bless.
All right, I ain't gonna hold y'all that much longer. Let me just give a brief commentary on it, and then I'm gonna let you all get out of here. Double tap the screen and hit the like button for me. We got 106 watching, 119 watching with only 14 likes. Double tap the screen and hit the like button. Once again, y'all, Obama was before Trump. Obama pushed the deportation issue. Obama deported close to 3.2 million immigrants. That's a lot of undocumented immigrants. Well, what happened? What happened from the time Obama was in office? Now, when Trump comes into office, Trump still had his foot. He still had his foot down when it comes to the deportation. 4 years went by. The Biden administration comes in. The Biden administration takes their foot up off of the deportation issue. The Biden administration allowed all of these undocumented immigrants to come into the country. The Biden administration made it possible for these undocumented immigrants to receive benefits that the Americans don't receive. Is it fair for the legal immigrants that done it the right way? You realize many of these legal immigrants, some of them, it took 30 years for them to get their paper, for them to get their green cards, for them to be legal. Some of them, it took longer than 30 years. And they didn't receive any special privileges. They didn't receive any benefits. So it's not fair to the legal immigrants. Salute, Shano. Appreciate you for pulling up. Salute, Shano. It's not fair for the legal immigrants. Like I said, these legal immigrants, they work hard. They save their money. They sacrifice. And it took them years, many years, to be legal citizens. So now you have the undocumented immigrants, the illegal immigrants. They come less than 24 hours. Less than 24 hours. They are receiving many of these benefits. As I said before, why is it a problem? Why is it a problem when Trump puts his foot down? Why is it a problem when Trump talks about deportation? Why is it a problem when Trump says it. Why wasn't it a problem when Obama said it and then ultimately went through with it? There were families, there were children locked in cages under Obama's administration. So what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Are we going to go into another year? Are we going to go into another year with the same kind of mind frame? If this person is popular, they get a pass. You get an unpopular person that comes along talking and doing the same things that the popular person was talking and doing. Now the unpopular person comes along and they get ridiculed. They get beat over the head. How many of y'all agreed with Obama when it came to deportation, but disagree with Trump? How many of y'all? I'll wait. I'll wait. It's not fair. It's not right. Whether it's Trump or whether it's Obama, whatever president we have has to be tough when it comes to deportation. Whatever president, Democrat or Republican, whatever president, man or woman, has to be tough on the immigration laws. You cannot get around it. There are laws. We have to follow laws. And if we break the law as American citizens, as U.S. citizens, right now, if I break the law, they ain't going to give me no pass. If I break the law, they coming to get me. If you break the law, they not going to give you no pass. They coming to get you. Shano says, send they ass back if you ask me. Salute, Bonner. Bonner says, I disagree with both. And we better hope and pray we never have to run to the border. I know what I do as a Latino considering. Share with us what you would do as a Latino. Can you share with us what you would do as a Latino? See, here's the thing. Here's the thing when it comes to the immigration. We have to have laws, and those laws have to be enforced. Any country that you go to, they have laws. All countries have laws. Take by the Lake, salute. Take by the Lake says, just come the right way. And that's all I'm saying. I believe that's all Obama has been saying. That's all Trump has been saying. Come the right way. I just want us to see that we can't shoot Trump's deportation and immigration laws down if we're not going to shoot Obama's down. Now, I just let y'all hear Obama, but Obama set this, and this was when Obama was in office, umpteen years ago. Obama was saying the same thing when it came to deportation and immigration. He's saying the same thing that Trump is saying. Bonner says, turn you back, but not before taking your stuff, regardless if it's a crisis or not. Take by the Lake says, don't we need passports and such documents? Facts. Facts. I'm so glad you said that, Take by the Lake. Give me a minute, y'all. I'm so glad Take by the Lake said that. For all those that have a problem with the U.S. and the U.S. immigration laws, Take by the Lake says, don't we need passports and such documents? Don't we got to have passports to enter y'all countries? Yes or no? So why is it a big deal when America wants to put her foot down? Why? What's the difference? We can't come to y'all country unless we come there legal. Yes or no? We got to have that passport. You got to have a passport to get in Canada, I believe. Yes or no? Bonner says, I have never needed a passport to enter Mexico. Hell no. Straight out of Texas and do it often. Let me ask your nationality. Can I ask your nationality, Bonner? Are you a nationality? Are you a European, African, Middle Eastern, Latino? What is your nationality, if you don't mind me asking? See, why do America, and this is what Trump was saying when he considered America to be a trash can. Y'all got mad at that. What do you mean? What do you mean calling America a trash can? Because everybody gets to throw all of their garbage. Everybody gets to throw their dirt in America. And America is just supposed to open up the trash lid and say, hey, come on in, come on in, come on in. Why? Somebody make it make sense. Why we got to accept all these immigrants? Why? And for the immigrants, y'all don't understand the play that America is running on y'all. Y'all don't understand it. Y'all come to this country and y'all turn y'all noses up at us. Y'all look down on us, not knowing the history, not knowing what exactly goes on in this country. When y'all come to this country and then y'all see these jobs that are available to y'all, y'all wonder, why are these jobs available? Why the Americans, why black Americans, why white Americans, why they won't take these jobs? Y'all don't understand why we won't take the jobs. The main reason why we won't take those jobs is because those jobs are minimum wage jobs. And you cannot live off of minimum wage pay. Do y'all realize that eggs have went up $5? Now I remember when eggs was 25 cents. I remember when eggs was 99 cents. I remember when eggs was $1.99. Eggs, a dozen of large eggs cost $5. That was the cheapest. I seen some eggs for $8.99. Working a minimum wage job, tell me how that's gonna work. Even if you don't work a minimum wage job, even with 2 members in one household, it's still hard to make ends meet. So now the immigrants come here. And then you got to remember, majority of the immigrants come from third world countries. So the dollar, the US dollar is triple in most of those third world countries. So now let's say you send 100 American dollars back to any third world country. Y'all do the math. Y'all do the math. So the minimum wage jobs equal out to high paying jobs. We don't have no third world countries that we could send our minimum wage paycheck to and triple it. We don't get the privileges. We don't get the luxuries that immigrants get. Bonner says, immigration will not stop till you go after employers. But that's not going to happen because the rich stack rich employing them. Salute Brad. Brad says the minimum wage pay in the U.S. is way more promising than the living conditions they experience in their current situations. You have to respect immigrants and how hard they work to fight for. I could see that this your first time over here, Brad, so I'm going to let you slide. You don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I ain't going to say you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So I'm going to let you slide, all right? But check the temperature. Learn something first, all right? Just because I'm a black man don't mean that I can't teach you nothing. Learn something first, all right? Hear me out before you speak. I'm going to let you slide, all right? I'll say it again. When it comes to the immigrants, we don't have a problem with legal immigrants. It's a difference between legal immigrants and illegal immigrants. We don't have a problem with legal immigrants, all right? If you do it the right way, you're good. We don't have no beef with legal immigrants. However, illegal immigrants, when they come here, the illegal immigrants, the undocumented, let me sound more political. The undocumented immigrants are receiving benefits from the government that legal immigrants and the rest of us Americans aren't getting. And I know y'all like to promote, we immigrants, when we go to America, we work better than the black Americans. We work better than the white Americans. The only reason why y'all funky asses work on the minimum wage jobs harder than black Americans and white Americans is because black Americans and white Americans, if we take those funky minimum wage jobs, we know that the employers are pimping us. See, y'all don't know this. Y'all come in here, y'all green. Y'all green as the color green. Y'all don't know y'all getting pimped. So naturally, y'all thinking, oh, I got a job. Yeah, they like me. They don't like y'all funky immigrants. They're only pimping on y'all. So yeah, y'all gonna work those jobs. Y'all gonna work those jobs. Black Americans, we ain't gonna work no minimum wage jobs. And if we do work the minimum wage jobs, we're not gonna work. Same way with white Americans. White Americans, that's why do you, let me school y'all immigrants. All right, let me just school the immigrants and then I'm gonna let y'all get out of here. White Americans, black Americans, even legal immigrants aren't going to work those minimum wage jobs because we know that they are minimum wage jobs. Do you follow me? So now you got the illegal immigrants. Y'all funky asses are escaping harsh conditions in the countries that y'all just fled from. So naturally, y'all funky asses is gonna work. Naturally, y'all gonna accept the pay that is paid to y'all. Become a legal immigrant, and I promise you, go from an illegal immigrant to a legal immigrant, and I promise you, your whole mind frame is going to change. You're going to see it for what it is. So I need for all illegal immigrants, sit back, relax, learn something, all right? Before y'all go making y'all comments and talking this and talking that, well, we immigrants, we work hard. Yeah, when y'all illegal immigrants, y'all gonna work hard, but cross over to be a legal immigrant. And I promise you, y'all not gonna take those minimum wage jobs. Do I make myself clear? Do I make myself clear? Appreciate you, John. HM says they have to accept the pay and conditions. Elder Duplex says you are speaking facts. Y'all just listen to the chat. If y'all don't want to, legal immigrants, y'all ain't got to listen to me. Just listen to what the chat is saying. Listen, y'all got to accept the pay and the work conditions and all that because y'all illegal. Y'all illegal. My funky black ass would accept it too. If I was illegal, I'm going to accept it too. I hope y'all enjoyed the demonstration. Like I said, once again, when it comes to immigrants, and I'm tired of saying it, but I do know that I have new people that's pulling up. When it comes to immigrants, the American people, black Americans, white Americans, legal immigrants, we don't have a problem with immigrants. We don't. We only have a problem when y'all don't do it the right way. Anybody that's white, black, or illegal immigrants, am I kicking facts? We don't have a problem with the immigrants if they do it the right way. Why? We got to do it the right way. The legal immigrants that became legal, they had to do it the right way. Black Americans, white Americans, they not going to give us a pass when we go to DMV. When we go to DMV, the only way we're going to get our driving license at DMV, we got to do it the right way. Illegal immigrants work and don't have to pay taxes as an illegal immigrant. Y'all get away with not having to pay taxes. Talk to black Americans. Talk to white Americans. Talk to the legal immigrants. We all got to pay taxes. So, man, please don't come at me if you are an illegal immigrant trying to school me, trying to teach me. If you are an illegal immigrant, you don't have a clue. Talk to white Americans. They're going to tell you the same thing I'm telling you. That white Americans going to tell y'all, we don't have a problem with immigrants. We only have a problem when y'all don't do it the right way. Talk to black Americans. They're going to tell you, we only have a problem when y'all don't do it the right way. Talk to all those legal immigrants that done it the right way and see what the legal immigrants going to say to y'all. The legal immigrants are going to be more harder on y'all than white Americans and black Americans. Because white Americans and black Americans didn't have to work as hard as the legal immigrants had to work. I promise you, the legal immigrants going to say the same thing that black Americans and white Americans is saying. They're going to tell y'all, we had to do it the right way. We worked 20 years. We worked 30 years to do it the right way. Why should we have sympathy for y'all? Yeah. But you know the country that I came to, the legal immigrants came from those same countries. They did it the right way. They had to do it the right way. Once again, I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Make sure y'all subscribe to my main channel. The main channel is Shank Rock. ShankRock. That's the main channel, Shank Rock. I'll close by saying this. If you have a problem with Donald Trump, when he talks about deportation and immigration, if you have a problem with that, with Trump, I suggest y'all go back and do your homework on Barack Obama, when Barack Obama was the president. Same thing, y'all. Salute. I'll see y'all on the next demonstration.